Yesterday, at around 10:11 a.m. there, two buses with over 50 senators left Parliament building for a meeting at Statehouse. And once the senators arrived at Statehouse, they disembarked from their vehicles and were ushered into a room where they found President Uhuru Kenyatta waiting for them. And the agenda was very clear, very short and precise, and was only one: removing Professor Kithure Kindiki as the Deputy Speaker of the Senate. The President explained to them two things. That number one, in the next coming days, is going to be crucial for constitutional reforms. And number two, for that to be achieved, he needed to clean the House, both the National Assembly and the Senate, by removing all those people who are not conforming to his reform agendas. And in return, the President told the senators that is going to ensure that the oversight kitty, which was removed around June last year, was going to be returned. And because politics is about interest, the senators who attended that meeting agreed to what the President was offering. And according to them, because that kitty has not been there from June, if it was Kithure Kindiki who was the reason why they could not get that money, they were going to effect those changes by removing Professor Kithure Kindiki. And the President also explained to them that that was not the end of it. He was still going to go to them again for two reasons. And for those two reasons, he didn't really elaborate to them. That one of them is for a political objective, and then the second is about his legacy. So he was still promising the senators that he will still require them for a political assignment, which up to now I am still trying to figure out what it could be. Maybe the BBI, maybe the impeachment of the speaker, or maybe the impeachment of the DP, but we can only speculate. Then about his legacy. Is it possible that Professor Kithure Kindiki, Kipchumba Murkomen, and Susan Kihika, who are allies of the DP, were frustrating the president's legacy? We still don't want to know. I mean, we still don't know that. But the president told them that he will still go back to them for that. So that kitty is going to be returned. But what surprised me was the agreement or the deal which was entered into that. According to sources, the ODM party is likely to nominate the next deputy speaker. And speculations are high that two names were actually fronted. The name of Kilifi Senator Wakili Stewart Mazayo, or the chairperson of the ODM Elections Board, Madam Judy Parel. But there's also thought that the person who should actually be nominated to that, or who is being propelled to take over as the deputy, is actually the man who seconded that motion. The Makwiny Senator, Mutula Kilonzo Jr. So the idea here is simple. Elevate Kilonzo Jr., Mutula Kilonzo Jr., because he's currently the majority whip. I didn't know, sorry, he's currently the minority whip. I didn't know that the deputy speaker is such a powerful position. I didn't know that. So the idea is simple. Elevate Mutula Kilonzo Jr. to deputy speaker. Then we leave the minority whip. And that minority whip is now going to be given to the ODM senator for Narok, Ledama Olekina. And when I heard that, at least I now realized and confirmed that indeed politics is a dirty game. If you've forgotten, when ODM wanted Samungeri to be the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, something very interesting happened. The senator for Narok shocked Kenyans by winning that seat against the ODM. So the ODM party had to whip him. But even during that time, the ODM party had told this guy to relax, that they are going to reward him with even a bigger appointment at the Senate. But this guy was not patient enough. I'm not trying to relate to what happened, because he was told he was going to be given a bigger appointment. And the only bigger appointment at that time was that of the deputy minority leader, which is currently held by the Kakamega Senator, Cleophas Malala. And because in politics, Malala was already sitting there, the senator for Narok believed that this thing was just a way of talking me out of that particular seat. But now I can add 1 + 1. That is, in my view, is also the reason why Kalonzo Musyoka, who is the Wiper leader, yesterday entered into a formal agreement to enter into a coalition with KANU and Jubilee Party, basically to pave way for Mutula Kilonzo to take over that appointment. And indeed, in politics, nothing just happens out of mere coincidence. It's now confirmed. Look at what these guys were doing. They were saying, ODM was saying that let Samungeri sit there. Where the senator for Narok, we are going to give you something. So it means all these things we are seeing happening in Parliament, at the Senate, even the senators themselves didn't know the game. And if you watched the senator for Narok yesterday at the Senate, he actually confessed and affirmed his commitment and loyalty to ODM party and Raila Amolo Odinga. Why was he doing that? He's doing that because he's just realized, just like he rightly put it, that he also learned that politics is a very dirty game. But now that's something we are going to wait to see how it's going to unfold. But what has President Uhuru Kenyatta achieved by successfully kicking out Kithure Kindiki? What has he achieved? In my view, the president has finally managed to achieve several things, and the deputy president should be our red man. And I have a small advice for the DP, and in fact, I'm going to give a very big statement on the DP himself. My advice to him is that in art of war, you must know when to surrender. You only enter into a war when you are sure of victory. That's the art of war. So if you're not sure of victory, you don't enter into war. And you must know the time to surrender. That's why successful warriors world over, or even in sports and everywhere, are people who, once they win something, they don't enter into another one unless they are very sure. And I want to give you a typical example of Mayweather. Just study him. He only enters into a ring when he's sure of winning. He doesn't just take any other competition when he's not very sure. But the president, in my view, has achieved the following. The first thing he has achieved is that he has successfully managed to isolate the deputy president, William Samoei Ruto. Let's look at the way these people voted to confirm that the DP has been isolated. Out of the 67 senators, only 7 voted to oppose that motion. Let me count for you the 7. There was the Kericho senator, Aaron Chariot. There was the Bomet senator, Christopher Langat Daktari. There was the Nandi senator, Samson Cherargei. Then there was Elgeyo Marakwet senator, Kipchumba Murkomen. Then there was Susan Kihika. That's 5. There was the Laikipia senator, Joseph Kinyua, 6. And Lithika Minturi, 7 only. Even the 2 Meru senators, only 1 voted. As a matter of fact, Linturi did not vote, by the way. The only vote from Meru came from the person himself, Kindiki Kithure. Lithika Linturi was at Statehouse, but didn't vote. He took off during the vote. Now, let's even leave that. How many senators do we have from Rift Valley? Almost 18. But how many voted? Only 6 from Rift Valley. So the DP has not been reduced, actually, to a Rift Valley kingpin. But again, you can't even say Rift Valley kingpin because out of the almost, Rift Valley has around 18 because we have 4 nominated from Rift Valley. Then I think 14 elected. So even the elected ones, half. Even his own senator, Margaret Kamar, voted to impeach Kithure. So the president has successfully managed to isolate the DP. He's now isolated. And the best strategy for him, if I were his advisor, is for him to retreat. In war, you must also learn the right time to retreat. So the DP must retreat. That's number one. Number two is that the president has now successfully taken control of Jubilee Party. What do I mean? All the nominated senators who are still doubtful on who controls Jubilee Party were actually whipped to vote for the impeachment. That's a clear signal to any other person out there. And if you want to know now that the president has successfully taken control of Jubilee Party, the mover of the motion was very clear that Kindiki showed disrespect to the president and the party by failing to attend that meeting. And all speakers there made it appear like it was actually a party affair, that the party, Jubilee Party, didn't have confidence on this guy. And people like Kipchumba Murkomen were at pain explaining to people how, as a party, he's not aware of any resolutions made by NEC of the party. Remember, the president started this by, first of all, changing the National Management Committee of Jubilee Party. The allies of the DP made noise. That noise evaporated. That deal was completed. That mission was completed successfully. And today, the National Management Committee of Jubilee Party is fully constituted with people allied to the president. Then he went to the Senate. After sealing that, he went to the Senate and said, I want to remove my majority leader, and also I want to remove my majority whip, because they believe all their allegiance is somewhere there, somewhere else. So he went for Kipchumba Murkomen, removed. He went for Susan Keika, removed her. So from that alone, it's now clear that the leadership at the Senate is actually purely the allies of the president. So the president has successfully managed to take control of Jubilee Party at the Senate. He has taken control of Jubilee Party at the Jubilee headquarters. And I'm sure the next stop is for the president to take control of Jubilee Party at the National Assembly. And I'm told the president is contemplating a parliamentary group meeting which is being organized, scheduled for 2nd of June. We will see how it's going to happen. But from what happened at the Senate, it's clear that the same is the exact thing is what is going to happen at the National Assembly. Number 3 is the legislative agenda. The president now doesn't have any reason to accuse any other person of frustrating his legislative agenda. So if the president now wants to effect changes at the Senate, he can easily do that. He can easily do that because he has the backing of NASA. Yesterday, out of the 54 senators, 26 were actually NASA members of parliament, NASA senators, including Senator for Bungoma, the fourth Kenya leader, who through James Orengo, conveyed his support for that motion. So today, if the president wants something which can benefit the country, then he can achieve it. So in the next 2 years, the president will not come back to Kenyans and tell them, I was being frustrated at the National Assembly. I was being frustrated at the Senate. So the president can now implement his legislative agenda for the country without any fear. Because again, as I keep on saying, there is no way the president can play Ruto and play Raila Odinga. If he's playing Ruto now, He can't play because a combination of Raila Odinga and William Ruto can be very lethal. But I'm still unable to understand how the DP could not even get support away from the normal Tanga guys, even just an independent thinker at the Senate. And lastly, this move has actually cemented the handshake. If there are people who are still doubtful about the handshake, then this is the time to rethink twice. This is the time. The handshake is here. The handshake is being steered now by President Uhuru Kenyatta. And indeed, if the deputy speaker will come from either ODM, let's say Pareno, Madzayo, or even Olekina, then that will basically mean handshake. If it will come from Mutula Kilonzo, again, still handshake. Because I'm told in Jubilee, they wanted Sakaya. Sakaya declined. I know he declined because it would have interpreted to mean that he was actually after that seat. Margaret Kamar has also declined, maybe for political reasons. But the mere fact that there's talk that this seat can actually go to NASA, it means the handshake is being cemented. And if you want to know that the handshake is being cemented, follow what Kalonzo is doing. And I'm actually going to dissect why Kalonzo Musyoka is entering into an agreement with KANU and Jubilee, and why probably Musalia Mudavadi is refusing to enter into that agreement, because there's always been talk that Musalia Mudavadi is actually planning to team up with the deputy president William Samoei Ruto, but he's trying to be seen as crafting his own political image. I don't know what you think, but from my side, I think the DP has been taught a political lesson, and Uhuru Kenyatta has executed it just like it's supposed to be done, politically speaking. The president was in a situation where everybody was disrespecting him, including the nominated members of parliament in Jubilee Party. If that continued, then the president would have lost. The president, being a president of the Republic of Kenya, without the support of MPs and senators, would have meant nothing in this country. So thank you guys. And if you're bumping on this video for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and hit the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, you get notified. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continuous support. Without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Thank you guys. And please, the request I always make, help me create interactions. Give the video a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs down if you don't like. But the best one is just drop your comments. And again, try and always remember to log into vuguvugu.com. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day.